If you want some coins for the new Road to the Final promo, check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get 5% off your order. This supports the channel greatly, and I do very much appreciate it. So what's up guys, my name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video guys, I've got some custom tactics and player instructions for one of the best attacking formations in FIFA 23, the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. This is a very popular formation and a lot of you enjoy the tactics that I post for this formation, so I thought I'd update you guys with some tactics to fit the meta of this game at this time. But just before we get into today's video guys, I'd very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, as that does really help with the YouTube search algorithm. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside guys, let's get right into today's video. Okay guys, so starting off with the custom tactics. For the defensive style, I like to use balance. This is because it gives you the greatest control over your defense, where you're able to press when you need to press and you're able to be a bit more conservative when you need to be. So I really do enjoy using balance. That being said, if you feel more comfortable using pressure tactics, then go right ahead. Moving on to the defensive width, I like to have this on 40 because it fits the way that this game plays out. A lot of the time people will go through the middle, and obviously they will go for those cutbacks, but it really doesn't matter how high your defensive width is, people will still be able to do those cutbacks. So it's better to go for a lower defensive width so you're at least compact and congested in the middle so you don't leak easy goals all the time. Moving on to the depth, because this is a more aggressive formation, I like to use a slightly more aggressive depth than I would with other formations, so I have this on 65. This is so we can primarily win the ball higher up the pitch, but the depth isn't super high to the point where we're constantly getting through balled. We do get through balled a little bit compared to other formations, but it's kind of worth it with the trade-off of being able to win the ball higher up the pitch. Moving on to the build-up play guys, I like to use this on balance. This is because it suits you up for the different types of FIFA 23 gameplay you might experience, whether you experience fast gameplay, slow gameplay, whatever. This suits you up for all different types of gameplay, so I do very much suggest using balanced as you get the greatest control. Moving on to chance creation, as always I suggest using direct passing. The reason we use direct passing is because if you look at the diagram in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you can see the white dots, which are your attackers. They're constantly moving around in that dynamic motion to break through that defensive line. This doesn't happen with something like balance, so it's very important to use direct passing in order to create chances. Now moving on to the attacking width, because this is a narrow formation, it makes sense that we want to attack with a narrow width. So we have this on 35, so our players stay nice and central. They're very close together, meaning it's easy to link up the play throughout the diamonds that you can play within this formation. So 35 width works very well for me. Moving on to the players in box, I like to have this on 6. This is so we can get players into the box to create chances, of course, but at the same time we don't overcommit everybody on the team to the point where we get counter-attacked all the time. So it is kind of a nice balance while still being very attacking. Moving on to corners and free kicks, I have these both on 1 because I don't actually cross set pieces anymore. I have a corner kick routine that I found out, if you guys want to check it out, in the top right hand corner of the screen, and it requires me to have my corners and free kicks on 1. So yeah, be sure to check that out if you want to see how I take my set pieces. Sorry to interrupt the video guys, but I just wanted to show you guys about FREECASH. If you use my link in the top right hand corner of the screen and ensure you are using my code VITALREMA when you sign up, you are able to earn lots of money basically for doing nothing. So you could play Raid Shadow Legends and earn $80, you could download TikTok and earn $2, or you can see what I've done is I've just made an account on Tide and I've got 23,000 coins, which is $23. So you can get coins basically for doing nothing, and then you can cash it out in pretty much anywhere you want, whether it be PayPal, Bitcoin, Litecoin, gift cards. So there's lots of things you can do with it guys, and if you do use my code, you will get 3 cases when you do sign up. That is if you earn $1, in which you can earn up to $250 in each case, so it is worth it. I may earn a small commission off of your earnings, but yeah, it's very minor, and obviously it does help support the channel. So I just wanted to show you guys this if you are looking to earn some extra money, and be sure to use my code VITALREMA FIFA, as that does support me greatly. Moving on to the players you want to use, guys, in the two striker positions, because it's a two striker formation, you can kind of get a balance between the two players. In a one striker formation, you kind of have to get the balance all in one player, but you have a bit more variety in one of these two striker formations. So what I like to do is have one more creative player in a striker position like Di Maria, somebody that can still finish a chance, but they primarily are able to like create as well. And then we also have a more poacher, more clinical finisher in the right striker position. So we have a bit of a creative finisher dynamic in between the two strikers. So I think it works very well if you guys do that, but you can just pretty much use whoever you want to. In the cam position, you're going to want to use a technical player, somebody that's able to dribble, pass, shoot, like basically do a bit of everything, because these are your main, like this is your main playmaker. So it's important that you get the cam right. It might take you guys a bit of experimenting to find the cam that you want to use, but when you find the player that works, you will know, because it just clicks. Now in the left centre mid spot, we have a more box-to-box midfielder, so we're using the flashback Paul Pogba. You're going to want to use somebody with very well-rounded stats, and if you can get it, a high work rate, so you get the maximum contribution in attack and defence. But for example, this Pogba is a high medium and he still works very well, so aim for a high work rate, but if you can't get it, don't worry about it too much. Now in the CDM position, guys, you're going to want to use a defensive player, so I'm using the flashback Jorginho. He's got very good defensive stats, and this player's job is to just stay back and break up the play. So if you can get it, a medium high work rate is super good, but just ensure that this player is as good defensively as possible. You don't need to worry about their attacking stats all that much. Now in this right centre mid spot, you're going to want to use an out and out attacker, guys, because this player isn't actually going to play as a centre mid. They're actually going to play as a right mid in like a 4-4-2 shape, so it'll all make sense when I show you the player instructions. But just go for a very good attacking player in this right centre mid spot, somebody like an Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, somebody like that. I'm just using Chiesa. You don't need to make this player a centre mid. Now moving on to the two fullbacks, I like to go for a bit of a balance between the two, where I have one more attacking fullback in Malacia and one more defensive fullback in Cafu. This is to have a balance between the two fullbacks, and it just makes the team play a little bit better in my opinion. But if you guys want to go for two defensive fullbacks or two attacking fullbacks, that is completely up to you. As for the centre backs and goalkeeper, these just need to be as good as you can get them. Now moving on to player instructions, guys, on the left striker, the more creative striker, we have stay central, mixed attack, and we leave everything else alone. We have him on stay central because we don't need this player drifting off to the wings. We need him to stay in those central areas so he gets the most involved in the play. We also have him on mixed attack because we don't just want this player running in behind. Like I said, I use this player as a bit of a creator, so sometimes I need him to set a little bit deeper to get involved in the build-up, and it does work really well for the attacking dynamic. Now in the right striker position, our more poacher striker, we have stay central and get in behind, so we have him on stay central for the same reason. We don't want him to drift off to the wings. We need him to stay in those central areas so he's causing the most problems. We also have him on getting behind because, like I said, this is the poacher of the team, so we do want this player to be constantly making those runs, because for example, he could be running in behind, Di Maria might be sitting a little bit deeper, and then he could play a through ball into Robbie Keane, so it works very nicely. Now on the cam, this is very important, we have him on comeback on defense. This is because, like I said, this is going to make this defend as a 4-4-2. So by putting the cam on comeback on defense, Jorginho is going to come to defend as a left midfielder. So we're going to have Jorginho left mid, Pogba left centre mid, Jorginho right centre mid, and then Chiesa right mid. This is why I said the right centre mid should be an attacking player, because they're not actually going to play as a right centre mid. Now moving on to the left centre mid, the more box to box player, we have stay back while attacking and cover centre. We have him on cover centre, so it ensures that he plays as one of the centre mids in this 4-4-2 shape. And then we also have him on stay back while attacking, because although he is a box to box player, we don't just want this player running forward all the time. We want to have a bit of control about when we send him forward, because if you have him on balanced attack, especially when you've got a high medium player like I have, it can be a little bit too much when you are going forward, and you can get caught out a lot of the time. So stay back while attacking, cover centre on this left centre mid. Now on the CDM, we have stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes, and cover centre. We have him on stay back because this is a defensive player, of course. We don't need him to go forward, we need him to sit back and help us defend. We have him on cover centre, so again, like Pogba, he defends as one of the centre mids in this 4-4-2 shape. And we have him on cut passing lane, so he's always breaking up the play. Now on the right centre mid, the one that I said guys should use an attacker in, we have get forward, get into the box across, and cover wing. We have him on get forward because we do need him to get forward. Like I said, he's not playing as a centre midfielder, so we need to make sure that he is getting forward. We have him on get into the box for cross, so he's always making those transitional runs into the penalty box and getting as involved as possible. If you have him on balance crossing runs, sometimes he's a little bit conservative and he doesn't do enough. So get into the box across, very important. Again, cover wing, super important, so it makes sure he defends as a right midfielder. If you have it on cover centre, it messes it up and you won't get the correct shape when you are defending. As for the fullbacks, I have them both on balanced attack and overlap. The reason I do this is because the 4-1-2-1-2 is obviously a very narrow formation, so sometimes we need to get that extra width. So by having the fullbacks on balanced attack overlap, it ensures that we have the width when we're going forward, as well as having a narrow shape. So it ensures that we have the most variety in attack and makes this formation a lot less predictable. Now, if this is too attacking for you guys, you could put one of them on stay back while attacking and leave the other on balanced. Likewise, you could keep them both on balanced if it's still too attacking, or if you want to do the flip side, you could have them both on join the attack. It's completely up to you, but I just like to have them both on balanced. As for the centre backs and goalkeeper, I just completely leave them alone, and yeah. But yeah guys, they are my custom tactics and player instructions for the 4-1-2-1-2. If you guys have enjoyed or found this useful, I'd very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.